Cora Alone.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Like so far, it still has the strongest beginning of the books. Because, you know, the first episode focused on showcasing the state of the world as it is now and setting up the villain. This episode focused on showing us where Korra is at this point, mentally and physically. Now, of course, if you guys been on the forum, you know that Strider gives his reviews on each episode on the forum. So, now of course I agree with him, and the best part is the ending was Toph.
Right.
Now, I didn't expect that was actually kind of unexpected. The fact that the whole fact that they met up in the spirit wilds, I pretty much figured that. I figured it was either that or the spirit world.
Yeah.
If she was still alive, she was going to be in the not the spirit wilds, the swamp. Now, the way she looks, I did not expect that. I figured she probably would have kept maybe her short hair and maybe not looks as wrinkly. I don't know why I thought that, but I don't know. But the sheer fact that it's a different friggin' avatar and she still calls him Twinkle Toes, I thought was hilarious.
Yep.
I just got a chuckle out of that.
Yeah.
But I also agree with what you said in the fact that I pretty much figured this the moment they confirmed my suspicions that Toph. Like, I was hoping that Toph was going to come back for this book, and when they announced in the trailer we found out that Toph was going to come back, I immediately figured that she was going to help, Korra get her avatar powers back.
Or something of that nature.
Well, yeah. No, because it's going to be like she's going to help guide her towards what she needs to do, not only to get her avatar state back, but her avatar past lives. Because, she knew Aang. So it goes with that whole thing where I think she's going to use the power, like the spiritual powers of the swamp. Originally I thought it was going to be in the spirit world, but since she has such a connection now with this spiritual swamp, I feel like she's going to be able to use that spiritual connection to contact Aang, and Aang will help Korra reconnect with her past lives, which in turn will help her get back her avatar state.
That would be sick.
Because honestly, the fact that she can't go into her avatar state right now is good, because it forces her to develop and not just take the shortcut of using her avatar state to do stuff. Now, the visuals of this flashback I thought were really good.
Yeah.
The whole thing, with that whole evil Korra from the Battle of Zahir haunting her.
Mm-hmm.
Originally she was going to go to the Republic City and she was going to be with her friends, but she got scared by this apparition and left. Now, but I also was kind of disappointed because I thought the hair cutting was done for maturity, but in fact, she cut it as a way of disguising herself. Which I didn't really like, because, I believe I said this to you. Her face should be way too recognizable to be, that easily disguised by cutting her hair and changing her outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this episode when you find out she gets, this guy instantly recognizes her.
Right.
Which produced another funny moment when you see, I had a picture of Aang, and Aang's doing the whole, marble trick thing again.
Right.
But as an adult, and his face just makes it look even funnier, because he's doing the same face he did back then, but as an adult.
But as a badass adult.
Which makes it, which not only makes it more funny, but at the same time more badass. So I guess in a way, so that in that respects we kind of got some Aang, but not really.
Right.
But so overall, I think it was a really good episode, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, obviously can't wait to see what happens next. I thought it was okay to good, like decent to good episode. I liked certain aspects of it. I'm grateful
Hmm.
that she's not in a worse situation than she was, like, made out to be in. Like, she was going to be in, like, this huge depression slump forever, and then took
Well, no, they
forever
kind of skip like that was what I liked was that they skipped over her depression
for the most
or the
part.
majority of it
Yeah.
and skipped and I also like the whole fact that they went into detail and showed her her recovery and
That was
how
cool.
the rehab and how she was like, oh my god, Tenzin came down like, oh my god, I've made so much progress, and then of course when Tenzin watches, she suddenly has another breakdown. So it's like, and this her, how she over this period of time she is being guided by Katara, which I thought was really nice.
Right.
So it's definitely so in this book. At least in this book, so far, it seems like there's a lot more inclusion of the previous series characters.
Yeah.
Because you got Katara being a major factor in helping Korra even get this far, and now Toph's going to take her and move even further forward. And of course, as we've seen in the trailer, Zuko's going to be in there as well at some point when we get back to the main plot of the book. So it's definitely so far so good.
Yeah, I would say so.
And if it stays this good, it'll be. And honestly, if the quality of episodes from these first two episodes remains the same and it's just as equally as good for the remainder of the book, it could turn out to be even better than book 3, which is so far the best.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, yeah, I know. We'll just see. So, because there's, like I said, so much that has to be finished up in because we only got 10 more episodes, because it's only 12 episodes this season.
Right.
So we only got 10 more episodes to finish this, and they're falling under the same issues that Naruto's having right now in the manga, in that there's so much that has to get done in so little time, especially since Korra has to also deal with the villain plot. So now it was actually kind of funny because I remember all the theories that were coming out when the trailer was released, saying that at some point Zhu Li turns on her guy, which I can't remember his. What is it with me today? Varric, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was other people saying, because when you saw her in the suit, people think that in that scene, he said that Varric says, "Zhu Li, do the thing," and then she gets in the suit. Which honestly, in my opinion, with the way they've been doing with Varric, would still be funny.
Yeah.
Either way, because Varric is just a funny character.
Yeah.
So
yeah, guess that's it for Korra.
Yep.
So is there anything else in terms of Western television that you want to talk about?
No, I mean there was, I watched the usual, I hate because there was no Family Guy this week. I was disappointed. I watched last week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and this week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is actually starts in another 15 minutes, so who knows? So I mean, we don't have to rush through.
Yeah.
Because and then I also watched another episode, this week's episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which was another really funny episode. Other than that, the only other thing I watched in terms of Western television was the series premiere of this new show on ABC. I think it's ABC, called Christella. Which I don't know if you heard about.
Not really.
Well, to basically summarize the idea of the show is that it's uh the main character Stella is Latino and she lives with her sister and her husband and their mother's also there and she's the funny situations that come up with day-to-day life and the fact that and then she in this particular episode in the pilot episode you see her go to an interview for an internship at a law firm because she's trying to be a lawyer. So I got and then so now and then she gets it. So like the funny situations that come up with her extremely racist boss and his daughter, who's even more racist, who's also an intern, going to be an intern with her. So and of course the main reason why I watched it was because the all right the Christella's brother-in-law, his brother is played by my favorite stand-up comedian, Gabriel Iglesias, who's again also Latino. So that's that's the main reason why it looked funny regardless, but I also wanted to support it because he's hilarious.
Hmm.
So it's definitely worth watching.
Okay.
You know.
Did you watch the Eagles game?
Nope.
The Eagles kicked the crap out of the Giants.
Oh yeah, the Eagles kicked that. Yeah, I didn't watch it because. Oh yeah, sorry, because of the other. Well, first, it was because of I didn't watch. The reason why I didn't watch it was for two reasons. The first reason was because from 8 to 9, me and my mom, we watch Once Upon a Time on ABC. And then after that, I immediately went back to watching Naruto.
Yeah, I was flipping back between the Eagles game and Walking Dead, so.
Yes, and I already can tell you. I know you well enough to know which one you found more important to you.
Well, I watched Walking Dead, and then during commercials I would flip back to the Eagles game, so.
Yeah, because The Walking Dead is more important to you.
Well, yeah, because
it's The Walking Dead.
Well, it's not so much that as it is like I can always get a recap of what happens like in the Eagles game. It's like more important to take note of like the details in
every detail of an episode of The Walking Dead,
a serialized show. Yeah.
No, as opposed to a sporting game where you can get the highlights, but all you really want to care about is who won.
Well, not me, but.
Well, I mean, first you want to know who won, then you want to know the highlights.
Yeah.
Which they give you. Now, I don't watch The Walking Dead, but some of my YouTube people, from what I've heard, says it felt more like from what I heard, some people were saying that it felt more like a series finale as opposed to a season premiere.
Yeah, kind of.
But obviously, since I don't watch it, I can't really form my own opinion.
Right. All right. So, Walking Dead, episode 1 of season 5. So, they found out very quickly they were screwing with the wrong people. Yes, they did. Yes, they did, Rick. They got their asses handed to them by Carol, Rick, and the Walkers, no less. But before that, we get a little bit of development between Carol and Tyrese, and they pull up inside a house with like a hostage from Terminus, which was pretty cool. Even though I absolutely hated that guy because he almost killed Judith, and I was so glad that Tyrese kicked his ass with all the walkers in the area. That was freaking awesome. So that was awesome in that regard. I laughed my ass off when they were knocking people out and then slitting their throats, with the baseball bat. And then, for me, it was very sudden. It was just pretty funny. I don't know. It's just something I found quite funny. And Rick did his thing in this episode, definitely. I have to hand it to him there. He definitely got it done. So, I mean, that's definite plus right there. I'm not sure what else to really say because, in terms of progression, I mean, it was there, the plot progression, but mostly it was focused on them killing the walkers, killing the people in Terminus, and getting the hell out of there, um, while reuniting with everybody. Um, what I thought was awesome at the end was the end of the episode when they reunited with Carol and everybody. They um, kind of just thought that nothing was wrong between Rick and Carol, which is fine. I'm glad they acted like nothing happened back then because they're just happy to see each other at this point. And then of course you have your fateful reunion at the very end with Rick and Carl and Judith. Now that they know that she's alive, they thought she was dead previously from seeing the baby's crib, all bloodied from the mid-season finale of season 4. And so I thought that was a really good reunion. I was definitely rooting for them to finally meet up, as weird as that might sound. But I mean, you're getting reunited with your baby. What else are you gonna expect? And Bob, or not Bob, Tyrese and Sasha, right? Sasha. They reunite and shit like that. But oddly enough, Beth is not in the picture yet, and I won't like the trailers. I they spoiled what happens to Beth, so if you haven't watched the trailers, I would not recommend it at this point. Just you know, they'll show you what happened with Beth and whatever. So that's basically it. And of course, we have the end where we see Morgan with some kind of cover over his mouth, and this is a circle with an X in the middle of it. And I'm gonna say it right now because many fans um, of the comic series have been raving about uh, this villain named Negan. I guess his name is Negan, I think, or Neygan, and I'm pretty sure he's black, and so I'm throwing it out there that maybe Morgan is Negan, because that's how I'm saying it as of right now, unless I, corrected otherwise. Um, he definitely looked very villainous at the end. And, the whole thing about I have to clear, it means he's gonna have to kill everybody. Is what I'm assuming is going to be a natural progression of his character. Keep in mind, I'm not a comic book reader, so I don't know. And even then, they've deviated from the comics very often, as I've heard. For instance, I believe Andrea is still alive in the comics. So that's it. I thought it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. Like by objective standards, I thought it was pretty good as well. So good start for season 5. Hopefully, continues to impress.